Hey everybody, Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Project Zomboid Homestead, which I co-stream with Trusten, episode 28. There's still trees, there's still time.
That's true.
It's also one of these situations, and this happens to be in real life, like I live on a road where everything is one direction, and nothing is the other direction, so at the end of my street, I always take a left, never a right. Ever. Unless, like, I've done it like once or twice. So whenever I'm approaching my house from the other direction, like, I don't even turn to my road properly, because it's so unfamiliar to see it from that angle.
I understand that. I understand that.
I only mentioned that because we're driving in.
At the opposite direction? Yeah. But we gotta hit the bend first.
Yep. Yeah, I see it on the mini-map.
How can you see more on your mini-map?
I zoomed out. Like, really far. I hit the minus key a bunch.
Yeah. For you, it was always, they're all liars, so you're not going to vote for them in your punk rock days. No, I understand that. I wanted the anarchy. I wanted the whole system to burn. I was not well educated or informed on anything. I just wanted to see a lot of chaos. I thought I knew everything.
Yeah, I mean, like, as a kid, I read up on politics, and, you know, as soon as I was legally able to vote, I was voting.
I also had a dad who was a Vietnam vet, and always told me that everybody in politics is a liar, so don't trust anybody in there.
A lot of them are.
That kind of stuck with me. I was like, if they're all liars.
Is our house on fire for me leaving
we've been gone long enough that it's out.
What is all that noise?
The rain?
I heard, like, crazy crackling noises from the forest, maybe? I'm not really sure what I was hearing. But it was odd.
If it makes you feel any better, I don't know what you're hearing either.
Cool. That doesn't make me feel better, but...
I was really hoping that we would have some crops to come home to. We did not. Oh, but we got traps, though. That haven't sprung. This one, anyway.
Yeah, there's some strange noises over here in the forest. I think it's just like forest noises, but it sounds super weird.
The forest noises and the upgrade has made them really creepy, man.
I'm spooked. Mark me down as spooked. Oh, one of the questions I had is all the weirdness of the temp cabin... Yeah. No? No, the temporary cabin is still super weird.
Yeah.
Like, the game really doesn't want you fully destroying anything, ever.
It doesn't like it. It doesn't know how to process it.
Yeah.
None of the traps are triggered. That's unfortunate.
I don't think they, That's weird, actually. I don't get that. Twilight Zone cabin? Yeah. It is a weird cabin, too. Alright, I'm putting some stuff away. A bunch of your broken shivs and whatnot.
Yeah. There's a lot of
finally, fresh water.
Stuff.
God, that noise of the canteen or the well.
It's bad.
It's real gross.
Like, it makes sense, but, like, it's bad.
It sounds horrible. Absolutely horrible.
Sounds like a spigot outside that just hasn't been fixed in forever.
Yeah.
Do we have a spot for guns?
Yeah, I mean, it's in the weapon box. Right?
I think so. Oh, yeah, that's right. some shells up there.
I'm just stocking the glove box here with nice things.
Beautiful.
I don't have any canteens though in it. Did we grab the canteens of the last one or no? We left the glove box alone.
I think so.
It's fine. It's whatever. We don't need it.
Let's see, what's my weight like? Still going down, baby. Time to feast. Non-depressing things. Holy cow. Dried black beans? 3,000 calories? What's up, JD?
I think it's like a giant bag. Because it's, what, 2 kilos of dried black beans? It's not like a small bag. It's honking.
That makes sense. If we had something to cook in it, you know.
I'm sorry.
No,
I actually,
no.
you know, like, whatever. The items disappeared. I'm not fully to blame.
I'm not upset at all. Like,
it's just funny that, like, I managed to go delete things out of existence by moving them.
But here, I got something for you, because, you know, we're all friends.
All right, boo.
It's on the rug, because that's where we put important things.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I got something else for you in a second.
I'll be back.
There you go.
Oh, I'm full to bursting. My weight has leveled off. I'm no longer losing. Probably a good thing, because that was I decided to, like...
losing.
We both were starving at one point.
Yeah, like we were
dangerously
dying.
so. Yeah.
Our health was going down. Also, this is the highest I think I've been in axes. I'm level 6, which is insane.
Yeah, I've got, I think I have 6 in long blunt. I'm almost 7. I'm 2/3 to 7 in long blunt.
The Twilight cabin's pretty amazing, because even though there's no roof or anything, if you walk in here, it doesn't rain.
Yep.
Gotta say, that's nice.
It's magic. I guess we do have a frying pan.
Yeah, we can make some stuff. I gotta find a hammer real quick.
It would be the bottom right, the southernmost.
Okay. Kobe, because I jumped over the edge.
So is that other spaghetti mine?
Yep. It's all yours, friend.
Well, I lit the stove on fire, but it does not appear to be glowing.
This whole place is lit.
It does further cement my opinion that I've always had, which is building from scratch is kind of a bummer.
Yeah. I think adding on to a house,
yeah,
or something like that is the way to go.
Yeah, but totally from scratch, yeah, not great. That's okay. A learning experience, if you will.
All right, so that was a lot of stuff, but I got a brand new sharpened axe here.
Nice.
Yeah, definitely worth. Hey, Vivid, welcome in, man. Welcome. All right, and then.
Well, that campfire of ours should be stoked for a while. I don't know why I'm lighting it, but I wanted to.
It's so excited.
It does really properly illuminate the entire house, though.
Oh no, it does great.
I'm gonna put the skibbles away. Conquerada, you're pretty new to Zomboid. You wanted to ask, is it possible to build a roof before you can build stairs? So there is not really roofing. You just build like a floor. There was no concept of like a proper roof. So yeah, you can build floors at like level 2, I think. There's a lot of things that you see in the world that you can't replicate with construction unless you add mods. So that's why our house here looks so simple.
Also, mods are sometimes very weird in Zomboid.
That too. That too.
Come on, I just want to pick up the metal workbench. I just want to move it just slightly. Just let me move it just slightly.
9. The game says aggressively.
Does not. Yeah. There we go.
I'm working on our literature collection.
Beautiful. I'm very, I gotta say, I'm really pleased with just how everything is right now,
Yeah, it came together. We have a lot of duplicate literature. Oh, wow, we have so many copies of Warrior for Spears. We had 6. Alright, I gotten rid of all of the dupes. It's weird because the gunsmithing magazine, journals rather, there's 2 types, but they stack, even though they're different. So it looks like I haven't done my job, but I actually have.
I forgive, man. I forgive.
No forgiveness. I find. So I would say the meta of Zomboid, if you want to like live in a house, is don't even build your own stairs. Find a 2-story home, ideally one that has a wide footprint like a factory or a school or something like that, and just sledgehammer out the stairs that lead to the second floor after you put multiple sheet ropes to climb to the second floor. And then you're completely and utterly safe, and there's no way that zombies can get to you if you remove access like that.
That was about right.
Also, yeah, anything self-built, you'll have to, like, replace light bulbs like a maniac, and that's not fun either. So that's another reason to avoid self-build if you use lights. The reason why we don't even use lights here is for that exact reason.
We're not allowed.
They're not allowed because, yeah, self-built homes, the light bulbs burn out so often. It is frustrating. What the heck? Oh, there's just a lot of stuff on the floor here. I did not know.
I heard you say what the heck, and I went to go look.
Oh, piles and piles and piles of, like, canned goods, guns, clothing, stuff that we had just never sorted. Hey, Moist Pineapple, thank you for the resub.
I'm looking at some of the stuff we can make, like, like a Gatling gun.
Oh, Lord.
It takes a ton of stuff to build it, though.
I mean, it should, right?
Or like an SMG, but again, it takes like a ton of stuff, and then we'd have to build a mag with it. Slamfire shotgun.
What's that?
There's a slam. It's called a Slamfire shotgun.
That sounds spicy.
Right? And all it takes is a plank, some nails, ripped sheets, lead.
Oh, I know what it is.
It's one of those shotguns where you like a
Yeah.
Oaka or whatever they're called from Rust.
Yeah. I've actually fired something like that in real life. Like a homemade 22 revolver that was just like a hammer or like a nail that hit the rimfire. Very sketchy. Very, very sketchy. One of those situations where you can totally envision it like just backfiring and exploding in your face.
And yeah.
Do not recommend. Absolute 0 out of 10. Like a little zip gun, right? That's what they're called.
Yeah. After I said like and started looking at the parts, I'm like, oh, okay, I know what this is.
Yeah.
I've never called it a Slamfire. I've never called any of those.
I've never heard that. Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah. Makeshift would be a more appropriate term. You know, we have a muffin tray.
Make us some muffins, Muffin Man.
Nah, I don't work for you.
Dang.
Man, that was cold. I'm sorry.
That was quick though. I think that's the most important thing to know right now is that was quick.
Yeah, it was. It was a bit too quick. I apologize.
It's alright, I forgive.
You better.
Dang. So what's the plan for the last hour? We're gonna go on blasting?
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm just sorting things as if somehow that matters. I'm trying to keep I'm trying to keep a nice home. I even have like a fire starting box out here now. Hey Rambo, thank you for the resub. At first you thought I was just some random dude. I am some random dude, but if you find me entertaining, that's works for me. Well, Trusten and I, we're random dudes. Random dudes that are up to no good, starting to make trouble.
Making trouble in the neighborhood.
Yeah. You know, having lived in that neighborhood, seriously, Bel Air is much better. Oh man. Oh man. Philly is such a rough city nowadays. It's really sad. It's so full of. I mean, it's supposed to be the city of brotherly love, and it's the city of like abject poverty and depression. So, yeah, don't vacay there. I mean, there's certain parts that are okay, but there's like, what is it, Kensington Street? Like, just look up Philly Kensington Street. It is, oof. I had a funny story. I think I've shared this before, but I was shopping at a Trader Joe's when I lived in Philly, and I had the Trader Joe's cherry soda in my grocery bag, and the bottles were kind of clinking. And a homeless person, which I could only assume wanted beer, ran up and slashed my bags open to try to get the beer out with some sort of knife. I didn't really see the knife, but it was a knife for sure. And my groceries spilled all over the curb, and it was cherry soda, and like all but like one of the bottles broke. And I'm like standing there stunned because I was standing just about right outside of 40th Street Station, which is like a major hub. There was hundreds of people watching, and like a dude, I guess, assaulted me with a knife, like in broad daylight, 2 PM, in one of the busiest parts of Philly. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, I can't even grocery shop in this city. It is so depressing. That's Philly in a nutshell.
Velocity and I, in March 2020, which is a very memorable time. We were planning on going to Velocity. What was the city we were going to go to? Because we were looking to move. Like, we just wanted out of Florida. This is before, we moved to South Carolina. We just wanted to like move out.
Yep.
State. It happens.
Yep.
So we were looking at different places, and let me see if I can tag her. You know what? Actually, I can look it up while I'm reading this book real quick.
Sure.
It was Allentown, which is just northwest of Philly.
Yep, I know Allentown.
So yeah, Velocity lived there for a while. It was near Bethlehem and all that jazz. But she worked at one of the hospitals up there, and we were gonna go visit and just like look for a place to live, or look and see if like that was a place that we wanted to live,
Yep.
And then of course we moved to South Carolina, and COVID happened.
Oh yeah.
It's really interesting because Velocity has a book by Dave Sedaris, which is basically a bunch of his journal entries, and going back and looking at like those journal entries is like very surreal. For March 15th.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Because that was the day like that we shut down the schools and everything, and it was just like that's unprecedented. Like we don't shut down schools for anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, it was weird because my wife's a teacher, and the school was essentially asking everyone that taught there, all right, so you're going to have to move everything online. Yep. You're not going to be paid for moving anything online. Oh, also, like, all of the yearly raises to match inflation, yeah, those aren't happening either because COVID. It's like, how does COVID change?
Oh no, man! Our yearly raises didn't happen. Like we were on a freeze for like 12 years here in Florida. It's stupid.
Yeah, and yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where I was telling her, like, if you're not getting, it's not even a raise. If you're not getting a pay bump to match inflation, you're getting whatever the opposite of a raise is every year, a demotion or something. Because if you're not matching inflation, you are literally earning less money year after year as inflation goes up, and we've had some of the most inflation, since the 70s or whatever. So it's like, yep, this sucks, and so many of her coworkers just had no idea how to. She had me, who was tech savvy, to like sort of figure it out for her, but there were so many coworkers that just like didn't get Zoom or the internet, and some of them just like. I remember one of her colleagues straight up wasn't teaching. Like, showed up in class because they were such a Luddite. Showed up in class and, like, no one showed up. So they were like, oh, okay, I guess I'm not teaching anymore. And just didn't teach. It's like, no. That doesn't work. You can't just, like, not show up to work. Where all the students were trying to, attend class online, and they just weren't hosting or anything. It was pretty funny.
That time was so I thrived in that situation because like I do computer stuff, not like
right, you can adapt
super well,
yeah,
but yeah, I'm very adaptable, and like that's when I started doing presentations for principals, and I started doing like multi-state presentations on how to like do online teaching and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, I remember because I did my first presentation and everyone loved it and people started emailing me. So then I asked for a raise, and they're like, "Oh no, you got to put in your time as an administrator before you get a raise." So like, I was making the same thing that like a teacher was making, which, as anybody who knows anything about education knows, that teachers don't make squat. and
Right.
I was leading like PDs 2 or 3 times a week. And that's when I was like, you know what? I'm going to follow my own advice that I've been giving teachers for years, and that's to only work your contracted hours.
Yep.
So suddenly I had class 3 days a week instead of 5. And like the third day was just review if anybody needed any questions. The first 2 were instruction. So it was Monday, Wednesday, Friday is when I held class. Friday was just to show up if you want.
Yep.
And Monday, Wednesday was I'll do instruction. Because the other days they had me doing PDs. So I
Yeah,
was like,
absolutely. Yeah, that's totally acceptable. I've definitely worked a lot of office jobs where they say it's a 9 to 5, but there's the
It's not.
culture of an 8 to 6 or more. Like some
Yep.
people leaving the office at 7 p.m. and it's like, that's an 11-hour workday. That's not. I mean, you want unproductive employees? That's how you get unproductive employees that burn out and quit. That's not a healthy environment to work in at all, and I hate that culture. It's like, I'm not paid to stay here. So what's funny is one of those office jobs offered me salary, and I straight up turned it down. I cool as a cucumber, just look the boss in the eye and go, absolutely not. And because I could very quickly do the math in my head of like what my hourly rate plus like 2080, which is, typically how you calculate salary given hourly rate. I was like, I'm sorry, but I'm not taking like a $10,000 a year pay cut to work longer hours and have you crack the whip more. Like, no thanks. I'll pay my health insurance out of pocket and not deal with the 401k matching because you guys are like predatory and garbage, and I'm good, thanks. And they were so flabbergasted that I would just be like,
Dude,
no, I don't want to work for you full time.
I did the same thing at Little Caesars. They offered me a manager position, and I was like, nah, I'm good. Because I worked a manager position at McDonald's as like one of my first jobs, and I was like, this sucks.
Yeah.
And then when I quit and went to Little Caesars, they ended up offering me a managerial position. And I'm like, nah, I'm good. And like they're shocked, they're stunned, and it's amazing because it's like, really, you didn't think that people would like figure this out? That like,
right. There's so many predatory practices now. Nowadays.
Do you want to roll out tomorrow morning when it starts getting light?
Sure.
We can shotgun it. I left you 4 cases of shotgun shells in there.
Okay, cool.
And then I got a bunch of 9mm rounds.
Yeah, one of them is like, just get everything in writing. Like,
yep.
They say that there's going to be a pay bump for a new job after 6 months. Get it in writing. Because if you don't get it in writing, there is no pay bump. That's a lie. Like, I'm sorry, but that's not how this. Yeah. That's not how the world works. And you can't. Another one that I find myself saying a lot is HR is the department of the corporation to protect its management. It does not in any way represent the employees. It does not care about your best interests. You have a problem with your boss? Don't take it to HR. HR is running interference for you to have legal recourse. They're not in any way trying to benefit you. And that's something that like I think a lot of people that are entering the workforce don't realize is like HR is not your friend.
Yeah.
They only have the best interest of the higher ups in mind, and they will do everything they can to prevent you from being properly represented if there's some legal recourse or whatever. HR sucks. Absolutely. So, I mean, I'm sure some people work in HR and they like don't tout the company line and they do want to help employees, but as a general rule, it is the department of the corporation that shields the corporation from liability and runs interference against its employees. Like, that is a very fair depiction of HR. So every time in the past where like my wife has like issues at work or friends or whatever, and they're like, maybe I'll bring it up to HR. I'm like, no, go to a lawyer, then go to HR. Yeah. Like I've had a few friends be wrongly terminated. I've had one who is, I even worked in an office once. Oh God, this was sickening. Where the office was trying to hire a new salesperson, and they had lined up a few interviews, and then they found someone on the sales team saw one of the candidates before the interview, and they were in street clothes. And they were dressed like they were playing basketball. And this was an office that was like almost 100% white, except for one other developer who was Asian like me. Everyone else was white. And then I remember, like, later on in that week, and these are all young people, too. They were all, actually, I was one of the oldest in the office. And I heard later on in the week that they thought that the person that they were going to interview was dressed inappropriately. And I was like, you saw him in street clothes. Like, what madness is this? You know, but there was no one to talk to because the boss was just as misogynistic and, like, terrible as apparently the sales team. But it sickened me. It's like they were judging the dude for wearing whatever he wanted to wear. He wasn't even at the interview. He was being judged pre-interview. And I was just like, rolled my eyes. I was like, you guys are so racist.
It's so dumb, man.
Yeah.
And that's for one of the charter schools. And like, I didn't realize it at the time because I was very jaded. I was drinking a lot of the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the way it was in one of the charter schools I worked at. Like, there was a very specific type of person that this principal wanted, and that was young, impressionable kids, women, fresh out of college. So that way he could, and I'm using air quotes when I say mold them, you know,
right,
manipulate them to like,
he could exploit the labor that didn't realize that they were being exploited.
Yeah, and like, I fell for it too. I drank the Kool-Aid for a long time, and like looking back, it's like, man, I was an idiot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of I've definitely. I have had good bosses, but I've definitely had a lot of bosses. Like, I knew my rights pretty well, but I've definitely had some bosses that just did everything they could to exploit as many people as you can. Because at its core, getting to be really philosophical here, at its core, capitalism is a system where you exploit labor. Because you don't hire people if they're not worth more than the labor that they produce. So if you're working in a factory for, let's say, 16 an hour or something like that, you bet you are producing something worth more than 16 an hour, otherwise your job wouldn't exist. One of the jokes of the whole, like, we can't afford to pay our employees better, it's like, then you don't have a working business model. Because if you're not making profit margin to be able to employ them more fairly, then you aren't turning a profit. You are a failed business. You don't require, like, federal handouts. You don't require, you know, slave labor or prison labor or any of that garbage. You just, your business model sucks. But, yeah, I mean, fundamentally, you are being exploited producing more than you're worth and being paid less. I mean, that's kind of how it works. And we've gotten to the point where, you know, it's
accepted.
It's
like,
exceptionally bad. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's.
Yeah. One of the things I find myself saying often is our generation. Yeah. Like, I mean, I know you're on the cusp of 2 generations, but the 3 youngest generations in America right now have, like, the most debt and the least wealth and the least political representation. And I have friends that, like, straight up can't afford families or homes or cars or even to work not 1 job but 2. And it's like, the prospects for our generation to thrive in the future are so bad. I mean, that's at the core what the whole, like, forgive student debt is it's going to be like a sort of a lost generation where so many of us won't be able to have the things that our parents had because of disparities that aren't being remedied and probably won't be remedied unless there's a radical think, like, something, you know, change, French Revolution radical change of corporations and government standing up for the individual.
It was weird when Velocity and I were getting our tattoos done. You know, people were coming in and going and making appointments and this and that and the other thing. Mm-hmm. And when that was going on, Velocity and I were, like, reading, and something popped up on her news feed about, like, the apocalyptic mindset, where, like, people were, like, living for the now rather than the future because it's hard to foresee a bright future at the moment.
Yeah.
And like, I ended up having a conversation with a young lady there, and we ended up bringing that up, and she's like, you know, I hear a lot of my friends saying that stuff. She's like, but I feel like we could do better, or we could like make changes. And I'm like, you know, it was really refreshing to hear that, because a lot of what I heard, especially as a teacher from kids, were just like, yeah, why do we care? You know?
Yeah. Well, you know, a lot of the systematic changes that are required are, you know, we're going to be like middle-aged. I mean, kind of already are, but we'll be middle-aged when we really start to have to figure out those systematic. Yeah, I know we're old. Those systematic changes to, what changes will need to happen as a. So the whole like, oh, you know, carbon or whatever. It's like, yeah, the thing is like, it will get to a point where it cannot be ignored due to, you know, death or whatever. It will kill people. So yeah, like there will be changes that will be done eventually. Like I can't tell you when, but
it'll reach ahead. It's like with any type of like major change that has occurred, is like it gets bad enough to the point where it just cannot be ignored anymore.
Right.
And then that's when people are like, oh, I guess we should do something about this. When like,
sorry.
No, you're good. I was just checking these boxes.
Yeah.
People are reactive. That's a great way to put it.
I would say the average person plans for 6 weeks, maybe 6 months, but not 6 years. Most people don't have a 6-year plan or a 16-year, you know, a 10-year, 20-year. They don't plan out that far. You know, the politicians that are setting policies now, especially given that we have some of the oldest politicians. This isn't like red or blue or Dem or Republican. It's just old, right? We have some of the oldest.
That's across
people,
the board, man.
Right.
Like,
some of the oldest people in office
people that
now
have been in power for like 40 years, and like
right. They're not going to have to live with the policies that they're setting, but we will. You know, and I think that's the kicker. Is we will have to figure stuff out very, very quickly. Sort of a sink or swim on the horizon.
That's something my dad has always told me, and like that is set true. Is like, yeah, the people setting the rules don't have to live with the rules.
Right. Rules for
so
thee, not for me. But that's always. I mean, that's true of any government versus its people.
Of anything, yeah.
It's fun. It's particularly
that's
funny when it's like Boris
CEOs
Johnson having like drunken parties during peak lockdown, and people going, "Yeah, if we're not allowed to do that, I don't think you can either."
Right.
The optics of that are kind of bad. It's like, yep,
well, we could go now, but like we're gonna be shooting in the dark if we bounce out now.
It's best to see the murder that we're undertaking, right?
Yeah, I've got a bunch of shotgun shells. I got 4 cases of shotgun shells, 30. So let's see, this will be.
I'm gonna be back in just a sec.
All right. Drop this down. A little bit worse. Yeah, I mean, I feel the same about Jacksonville. Like, we have people that get voted in the office. It's like kind of like, all right, maybe we should try someone new. As you know, like we have the sheriff thing coming up here, JD, and it's like, do we even have a good candidate for that though? Like, that's the thing is it's not necessarily voting the same inept people or bad people over and over. It's like, what options do you have? I can say, so I can only speak for me, but I know that like when I complain, I vote, which is why I complain, because I feel like I have that right with what I vote. But I could see that being from people who, don't, just being upset.
Man, I feel like my dude is wanting chain smoking.
Dude, same.
It's like after the adrenaline rush of all of that killing, my guy is like, "Oh, come on, I need more." It's like, relax, dude. You're not in danger right now.
I'm a little encumbered, but that's just. I mean, I think I'll be fine.
All right.
I feel like once we go out and start shooting, the rounds that I have that will be consumed will drop the weight. Also, I don't know how to attach like a fiberglass stock to an 7.88 rifle or anything.
So the stocks can only be attached to certain things.
So like, I'll just I'll put it in the bin. Like I have that. Well, wear this. But like I have that rifle and that stock, and it's like it says it matches, but or it also might be a mod issue too.
I don't think so. Usually mods are pretty good.
People get discouraged. You got to keep pushing. Yeah. There's I won't mention names or anything like that, but there's this dude that I found on TikTok. And I know TikTok's a weird place to like find people politically, but I like what he's doing in his area of Florida, and I'm hoping that he's like a grassroots kind of guy, doesn't have anything like that going on. Nothing sketchy that I could find, but I hope he continues doing what he's doing and eventually makes a change for Florida.
Yeah, that's how it starts. Someone standing up and getting involved.
Yeah, like I read his story, and like basically he got pissed off about something in his neighborhood relating to his pets, and went to like a meeting, and they're like, "Oh, well, if you don't like it, then do something." So he ended up running and winning for like a small portion of his neighborhood, and I'm like, "That's hilarious."
It'll work. Yeah, if you don't like it, be the change you want to see.
Yep.
All right, I'm putting a 308 or M14 in the trunk as well. Racked, upgraded with an iron sight, and loaded.
I like how we're like busting out here like Dukes of Hazzard style.
Why not? Did you take the loose rounds that were in the box up there?
The shotgun rounds?
Yeah.
I did.
Okay, no, that's fine. Just making sure that they're someone has them.
I got five boxes and then shells. I'm gonna put 308. Excuse me. I'm gonna put 308 rounds in the trunk along with 9mm rounds.
Got it.
HR is not there to support management either. No, they're there for the company. That's it.
Yeah, there is no employee advocacy groups in most corporations because that's not how labor exploitation works. Never has been, never will be.
Yeah, we were talking, Velocity and I were talking about this earlier today, but when I left my job in education, I left mid-year because I had falling out with the principal. Mm-hmm. And the person from HR kept calling me because she liked me and kept asking me for like assistance with stuff. And like the first time I helped her out, and then the second time that she called, I was like, "Yo, I no longer work there anymore, right?" And but I helped her. And then the third time I told her, I said, "Listen, if you want to keep doing this, my consultation fee is $210 an hour, and we can go from there."
Yep.
And that was the last phone call I got from her, believe it or not.
Yeah, they were trying to exploit you even after you were no longer employed.
I was like, yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna unload all these shotguns, get some extra shells too.
Yeah,
I feel like we're gonna need it.
Yeah, we probably will. I'm making sure I have backups to backups. I might even want to back up 9mm.
I'm gonna throw these on the ground. I'll pick them up in just a second.
Oh, the empty shot? Yep.
Yeah.
No worries. Put them wherever you want.
Yeah, it's not like we're gonna come back here. Either we're gonna go out heroes or we're gonna die. There's gonna be no in between.
That's ominous, but true.
I was gonna say, it's, we're not wrong. We're gonna take the gas station and all the surrounding areas, or we're gonna die trying.
Absolutely. Well, I need a magazine for this, don't I?
Simply find someone who takes pride in their work and wants to do bare minimum as a luxury. I mean, it's about pay, right? Like, if you're not getting paid to live, so like we were saying, like it's even the people that were calling me, it's worker exploitation, right? So eventually, the only thing that workers have to combat that is their productivity. So you put out a lower productivity, so that way you make more money. You don't work as hard. If someone's getting paid, like if they're doing fencing or something and getting paid by the foot, then that's incentivizing them to put up more fence. That's how I did my company. I was paid by the foot, and then I paid guys by the foot. So if we had a 1,000-foot job, what's up, Becky? How's it going? If we had a 1,000-foot job and we're getting paid, let's just say $3 a foot, right? Then that's $3,000 that they can make in that day for putting up 1,000 feet of fence. My brothers and I were paid that way, but that's incentivizing, or not incentivizing labor, but like, you get the job done, you get paid more. You could take 2 days on it, you could take 4 days. I didn't care. As long as the job got done by the day I promised the people that it would get done, I didn't care how long it took.
That makes sense.
I'm doing fantastic. We're playing a little bit of Zomboid today with my my buddy Rhadamant here.
Hey.
This is the grand finale. We are getting ready. I don't know if you are familiar with Zomboid, but we are getting ready to go blast our way through some zombies here. We don't use firearms in this game because sound... Okay, good. So this is the finale. We've been running for about a month. We've hand-built this entire cabin in the woods.
Dude. I don't know if you can see me, but I've got a nightstick, a hunting knife, 2 guns on my hips, and a shotgun on my back.
I think we're ready.
Gun 1, gun 2, gun 3.
Oh, let me make sure I'm loaded.
Hunting knife.
Yeah, I'm good.
Dear Lord.
I've got axe, shotgun, pistola. Doing good.
Full Mando. Yep.
Oh yeah, we are ready to go. Crow and I play a lot, but we don't get very far. So we've been we've been alive for a month this run.
Yeah. Just under, but yeah.
Not bad. We have reoccurring helicopters on, 8 times the population.
Speaking of which, we should probably listen to the radio.
I listened to it earlier. There was no choppers scheduled.
I guess it wouldn't change anything.
No, not right now.
Thank you for tuning in to Project Zomboid Homestead, which originally streamed live on Twitch June 1st. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below, but please keep in mind that the series has since ended. If you would like to catch live streams of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you have not yet followed Trusten on Twitch or on YouTube, his links can be found in the description of the video as well. Thank you so very much for watching. A special thank you to my Patreon patrons and Twitch subscribers, and also viewers like you that support the channel. I'll catch you next episode or some other series. Farewell.